We're taking advantage of our last, basically half hour or whatever we have left to figure out what we need to know before we take our test tomorrow. Right? So if you sit and stare at me, I'm just gonna tell you to have a study hall because I have no review prepared. I already did my review sheet. Right, I gave that to you. Now, we didn't do them all, so I don't know. I know Alexis did some on her own. I don't know if the rest of you did stuff on your own or want to do anything from there. Or a homework problem that you missed and haven't been able to figure out. Don? 2.8. 2D, so another inequality. Man, what is the deal?
This one, you just got it wrong.
I'm taking this.
Okay, so we're all looking at this inequality, which I think is another no calculator. Yep, no calculator. So, what am I going to do?
PRR.
I gotta somehow get this thing factor. So, it doesn't factor my grouping or anything else, that's a cube. That's a cube. So, factors of 2 over factors of 1. So there aren't many choices. What do you think? I think -1 looks like it works.
It does.
Be careful when you divide. That will catch people all the time. Be careful when you divide. All right, so then what? I found one. It worked. I didn't have many choices to choose from. I got lucky. Here we go. Now what?
Get the depressed.
X squared minus x minus 2, which also factors into x minus 2, x plus 1. Is that okay? Now, be careful because when I write all my factors, these are the 2 that came from that. What's the factor that's going to come from this?
X plus 1.
X plus 1. So I got 2 of those. So I have x plus 1 squared, and then x minus 2, and that has to be less than or equal to 0. So I'm going to go to my number line. My kind of key points here are -1 and 2. Because of the squared, I'm not going to do the other thing. I'm going to have to check each spot. So if I put in a -2, that's going to be positive because it's always going to be positive. But a -2 will make this one negative. When I multiply a positive times a negative, do I get this?
Yes.
So, got it. All right, now I'll try 0. 0 makes this positive and this negative. So does that work? How about 3? 3 makes everything positive, so that won't work.
No.
So what's my answer?
Negative infinity to 2.
Negative infinity to 2. Yep. Some of you separated that and wrote them individually. If this had been an open dot, then I probably would suggest that. But since it's a colored in dot, it's just everything less than negative, or less than 2, right? All right, what else? Down
Could you do 2C?
on that same front page.
Yeah.
Now, 2C is a rational inequality. And I don't know if you've noticed or not, but every time I do one of these by hand, I want to have a 0 because I'm ultimately going to be going to my number line and I need to know if it's positive or negative. So I'm going to start by moving this 1 over, so that I have my 0. So now I'm gonna put that together, and how do I put it together? By getting a
Common
common denominator, which will be
2x minus 1.
2x minus 1. So now I've got x plus 1 minus 2x plus 1 over 2x minus 1, which can simplify to negative x plus 2. All right, are we good so far, people? Just some basic arithmetic, getting the problem ready to solve now. Right? So here's my number line. I'm gonna get 2 key values, both gonna be open dots, one from the top. Be careful, when you put negatives in there, sometimes that's confusing. What makes that equal to 0? 2? And what makes this equal to 0? 1/2. So those are my key values. This one, because there's nothing funky about those, there's no squareds or, absolute values or anything like that, this one is gonna alternate. So I might try 0 because I like 0 as a handy number. So if I put 0 in, do I get something greater than 0? If I put 0 in for my x's, does it turn out positive? I don't think so. Then let's say 2 over negative 1. Is that bigger than 0? No. So this doesn't get shaded, this does. So your answer is everything between 1/2 and 2. Ooh, on my paper I have 4.
Yeah, the signs are wrong.
Yeah, I think,
Oh no, I copied it wrong.
Yeah.
This is a 3. So this is a 4.
It changes everything.
No, it doesn't change anything. Luckily, it doesn't change anything except the answer. There we go. That was a 3 in the original problem, I wrote down 1. Okay? Sarah?
Can you do 1B, please?
1B on the same homework?
Yes.
Good grief, I won't have done this entire homework here. All right, well, I know what you're tempted to, oh, wait, stop, I gotta read my directions, solve the calculator. Okay, so I don't have to do anything with it algebraically. Please, if I had to do this by hand, I would not multiply through by x. I can't do that. I could get a common denominator here, subtract the 3, and get a common denominator just like I did here, but I don't need to go through all that because I can use my calculator. So, go ahead and graph x squared. Yeah, when in doubt, read the directions, huh? I can solve this 2 times time. I didn't know what it is, but- Alright, so what I got, okay, so here's my line y equals 3, and then I've got this thing that looks like it's coming up like this, and then I've got something that looks like this. Does that look like about what you have, something like that? Now, this makes perfectly good sense to me. It looks like I have an asymptotic relationship here, because x can't be 0, right? So that drops in that vertical asymptote. Now, finding this is going to be easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and find that one, and in fact, I probably already did. Is that 2? Is that actually not 2?
Yep.
So I wanna be above 3, so this would be part of my answer. Would you agree with that? Okay. Now, what's going on over here? Well, on my graph, it looks like it actually touches right there. It looks like it's tangent right there. But I am going to go ahead and do second intersect just to make sure that it does, and then I'll figure out where it is. So second calc intersect. And see if it intersects. And it does, -1.
Did it show up as -0.0999?
-0.99999, yeah, there's some round off there in there. We've seen that happen before with zeros. Okay. Now, wait a second. If this is tangent right here, and I want to be greater than or equal to this line, isn't that whole thing greater than or equal to that line? Isn't this whole parabola-ish thing? So what x values does that describe? This guy right here, what x values is that? -infinity to 0. And then it picks up again at 2 and goes forever. All right. What else? Okay. Now, Miss Sarah and Lewis have done their parts. What about the rest of you? Everybody's good?
Uh, 2A and 2.8.
It's the only one I haven't done. This is a no calculator problem. So, Austin, you have any thoughts on what we might do to get the ball rolling here?
Group factor by
Oh,
group.
we can group it, absolutely. Now, could we also PRR it and divide?
Yeah.
Yes, but that always takes longer, so if you can tell the groups, you absolutely want to do that. So it looks like I'm going to have x minus 4, x plus 1, x minus 1, does that look about right? So I'm gonna go to my number line. They have 3 dots this time, and they're all solid. And they're gonna be at -1, 1, and 4. Austin, you with me still?
Yeah.
Now, because there's nothing funky about any of these, no squareds, no square roots, no absolute value, nothing weird, these are gonna alternate. So I just need to pick some number and try it. So maybe I'll pick 5 this time. So 5 gives me a positive, and a positive. If I multiply those together, do I get negative? So 5 didn't work, which means this will and this will. So my answer is -infinity to -1, or 1 to 4. All right, we have 10 minutes. Do whatever you need to do. We have a test tomorrow.